Hi, good afternoon. Today is Monday, and I wanted to just give us a little bit of a kickstart for our week. I feel like there's so many things that are not clear in people's minds about their difficult times. For example, people that are, that want to achieve and accomplish a lot over the course of their lives, they oftentimes also feel like there's no room for them to experience their own feelings. What do I mean? I mean that when you're so clear on where you want to go and what you want to accomplish and how much you want to make and what you want to make of yourself, right? And then you fall into one of these just situations where you don't feel good, or you can't accomplish, or you feel stuck, or you feel like your creativity has left you, or you feel not motivated, or whatever it may be. It's important to know how to get through those times in our lives, because otherwise we can really sabotage a lot. When we're building and building and building and all of a sudden we fall, it's important to also know how to fall. It's important to also know how to be able to experience your pain and feel what you're feeling, but know how to be able to get through that in the most effective way. So let's put down a few things first. Number one, what I want to discuss here is that pain is something that is going to be a part of our life forever. In other words, when does pain happen to us? We feel pained when something happens to us in our life that we don't understand, that we're not happy with, that is making our life very difficult to live the way we feel like we should be living it, right? And then comes this thing called pain, right? And it blocks us, and it makes us feel unhappy, and it makes us feel like whatever's happening to us right now in our life is not fair on many levels. And then we get stuck and unhappy, and we don't have an easy time communicating or coming out of our little isolation modes that we put ourselves in, right? We kind of like to isolate ourselves and become upset, sad, depressed, angry, whatever it may be. So here's rule number one, okay? Rule number one is that there is no growth without pain. Your growth, your next spurt of growth is coming from this. It's coming from this negative feelings that you're feeling right now, the sadness that you're feeling right now, whatever you're going through. So you have to know that first and foremost, you must give your pain a purpose. It's almost like when you take your daughter or your little sister or whomever to get her ears pierced for the first time, right? And she's 6 and 7 years old, but you talk her through it and you tell her it's going to hurt a little bit, it's going to sting, there's a hole going through your earlobe, but don't worry, because it's worth it, because look at the earrings that I got you, right? So she's going through it, and she's anticipating the pain, and she knows she's going to experience some form of pain on whatever level, right? But she's doing it anyway because she wants to get those earrings, and she wants to be able to have those holes in her ears, right? So her pain has a purpose, and once your pain has a purpose, then you can feel like you can get through it, right? You can get through it, and you're just going to get through it. You just tell yourself, I'm going to get through it because it's meaningful and it's purposeful, this pain. It's not happening to me because it's just going to be like this for the rest of my life, and it's always going to feel this bad, and I'm always going to feel this stuck. No. We also have to know point number two is to know that everything comes in spurts in life. Everything, the good times, the bad times, and the feelings of pain also. Feelings of pain also come in spurts, that sometimes we feel a lot better and sometimes we feel not so good, right? Sometimes we have high energy and we feel creative and we feel alive and we feel on top of our lives, and sometimes we feel like we're down in the dumps and we just want to go to sleep and stay in our beds forever, right? Because life is so hard. So that's another thing that we have to understand. And the next thing we have to know is that this thing that's happening to you right now, this pain that you're experiencing right now, it is pain and it does hurt. And you should feel it. You should allow yourself to feel it. And if you have to feel it and you have to be in bed all day, or if you have to cry, or if you have to journal, you have to listen to music, or you have to be completely irresponsible for a day, as long as your responsibilities are okay not being taken care of, then you got to give that to yourself. You got to feel your pain. There's no mitzvah, right, to push off the pain and just smile all day and make believe like everything is fine. You don't have to do that. Look at David HaMelech. David HaMelech, the whole Sefer Tehillim, all of the book of Psalms, right? King David, it was all from pain. It was all from pressure of life and from running away from people that want to kill him and from all the experiences that he had. Yes, there were many chapters of gratitude and him singing from the top of his lungs from happiness, right? And and from being grateful to God. But in the hardest times of his life, he spoke to Hashem. He said what was going on in his life. He verbalized it. He said what was happening. So first of all, let yourself experience the feeling, whatever the feeling may be. You don't always have to feel up and amazing and larger than life. You can experience your feelings and let them have a stage. Let yourself experience them. The second thing is to know that while you're experiencing them, like David HaMelech, speak to God. Speak to God through it all. It's not like you could only have to speak to God with a prayer book. It's not like you only have to speak to God, when things are great. You got to talk to him when things are crummy also, and you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel and you don't feel like things are ever going to change. Speak to him about what you're experiencing right now and where you want to be, where you feel is good for you to be, right? The third thing I want to mention here, I don't know what number we're up to, but the third thing I want to mention is that it's important to not compare yourself to another person's endpoint, okay? Wherever you're holding right now, because all of us are in some kind of process, right? And when do we get down on ourselves, and when do we feel not good, and when do we allow ourselves to kind of like go under? When does that happen? When oftentimes we feel like we're not accomplishing enough and we're not getting the results we want, and life is not delivering the way we wanted it to deliver on whatever level. And oftentimes that happens when we're trying to put in our all into this marriage, into this child, into our weight loss, into our health, into our thinking better, into our business, into whatever. And then we look at that person that is super successful in her business and like, oh my gosh, she's so on top of the world, like I'm light years away from where she is. Or we look at that marriage and we're like, oh my gosh, my marriage will never be that way. Okay, no matter how much I work, it will never be that way. Or my kid will never be that way. Or in order for me to actually, so I went on the treadmill today, or I did some exercise today, but look at that person's body. Like that will take me eons to get to that level. Forget it. Right? And we allow ourselves to, in comparing our lives and whatever we're holding, we compare it to people that have already gotten there, to that place that you think you want to get to or that you dream of getting to, right? And then we just say, whatever. We're just losers. We're just a bunch of losers. So it's important to guard yourself from those kind of things, because anything that will deliver results requires process. So this is your process. So if you want to get to somewhere in 6 months' time, you just have to put away all the people that you're comparing yourself to and work and be committed to the job. Whatever the job is, your marriage, your being a mom, your weight, your health, your avodas hakodesh, your mitzvah observance, wherever you are. Just be committed to your cause, and because your cause is your life, and this is your life, right? This is our life. This is all we have. So if I'm constantly getting distracted by what everyone else is doing, and then feeling bad about myself not progressing as fast, then what I'm doing is constantly shooting myself in the foot. Let's not shoot ourselves in the foot anymore. Let's stop comparing to other people and other situations. And the final thing I want to mention here is, first of all, let's just recap for a minute. We spoke about feeling your pain, allowing yourself to feel the pain, and giving yourself that platform of experiencing what it is that you're feeling. Number 2 is talking to God through the pain. Number 3 is whatever process you're experiencing, know that the reason that you pull yourself into a negative state oftentimes is because you're comparing yourself to all the people that you feel like have already accomplished, have already gotten to where you wish you were, right? And that kind of pulls you down into a negative state. So don't do that, right? And the last thing I want to mention here is, and it's a very, very important point, is that pain is one side of a double coin. The other side of this coin is inspiration and spirituality and greatness and your potential. You have to know that the same door that there is sadness and depression, and that's the other side of that same door is the rest of your life and everything that you want, right? The point I want to make here, and please listen carefully, is when a woman is delivering a baby, right? She's delivering a baby, and I had this with my second child, where I was kind of like in the hospital room alone, and for whatever reason the nurses weren't there and people weren't there, and he was coming out. And they didn't have enough time to give me any kind of medication, and it was happening, and I was there by myself, delivering my baby, right? And I remember feeling like, no, the fear the fear that gripped me, that I was so afraid to do this. I was so afraid to deliver this baby on that bed without anyone around me, and I know what kind of pain it's going to that I'm going to experience. I learned, I went to classes, I heard about the ring of fire, I know what to anticipate, and I'm so afraid. This is my first birth that I'm doing without an epidural. I'm so afraid of the pain, but I told myself in my mind, Devorah, you were created to do this. You were created to give birth. Your body was created to do this. Okay? And once I heard myself saying those words to myself, that you were created for this, you were created for this, then I just allowed my body to do what it was natural. Was there pain? Of course there was pain. Was there insane pain? Yes. But what did I tell myself? I was created to go through this. And on the other side of this is going to be my baby. So I'm going to get through this. I'm going to get through this pain because I want what's waiting for me on the other side. And that's what I want to share with everyone here. Go through the pain, experience the pain, talk to God in the pain, be even thankful for the pain, because there's a lot to say about a person knowing to be thankful for the pain that they go through in their life, because they know that it's going to bring them to a better place. And being thankful just expedites that process. But know that your life is waiting for you on the other side of this pain. So get through the pain, go through it, don't get stuck in it, because if you're going to get stuck in it, it's just going to prolong having you meeting yourself on the other side of that. Okay, and that's the greatest gift you can give to yourself, which is to meet yourself, to meet your higher self, to live a better life, a happier life. And for the rest of your life, we will go through experiences of highs and lows. And if we know how to apply these rules and these tools, then we can come out a different person. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day. Bye.